Good afternoon. How you doing today? One of my subscribers, I believe his name is Thomas Bewick, B-E-W-I-C-K. I apologize if I didn't pronounce it correctly. He asked me how I built this thing. Well, this has a long history. Okay. Open this up here. This is pretty disgusting in here. Alright. If you look in his sides over here, it's very hard because this camera don't pick up good. It's storage, alright. I can probably show you better over here. These were sawhorses that came out. You can see on the other corner there, and over here. And over here. The legs pretty well rotted off. So I had cut them off years ago. Then, at the time, my neighbor gave me some pressure treated wood. He's no longer living here, but he had given me a lot of this pressure treated wood, and that's when I built this stump cover. I have a video on that. It's one of my older videos, probably about 5 or 6 years ago. So originally it started out as 2 sawhorses and a 4x8 sheet of plywood. The 4x8 sheet of plywood and the 2 sawhorses used to be used for way back when I was building my shed. It would be a place where I could make the door and stuff. And that was back in 1997 when I built the main shed. After a while, the 4x8 sheet of plywood got rotten because, you know, it wasn't pressure treated, it was exposed. I had a pop-up tent camper. You might see that in some of my real old videos. Maybe, I don't know, I don't recall now. Because that was back in the analog days, so a lot of that stuff didn't get digitized. So this here was part of the slide-out bed plywood that I took off the camper before I got junked the camper. And there was 2 of them, but the first one rotted out. So I took the sawhorses and I built the sides all the way around, built the door, and it's a place to store things. And of course, naturally, when we get heavy rain, everything floods here. It's just a mess, disgusting. So I just kept adding to it, and then when I got at the bargain wood, I got pressure treated wood, and I nailed the sides to it, made the frame, and put another piece, the last piece of good plywood that I had from my camper on top of it. And I keep painting it all the time. I try to get as much oil base paint on here as I can, whatever, you know, just to protect it. This here is a separate table that I built for my cookouts when we had them. It just butted up against here. I used to have it over here. So really, this is nothing special. It gradually became from 2 sawhorses and a 4x8 sheet of plywood, shrunk down now to a 5-foot by 4-foot piece of plywood, sitting on some pressure treated wood, and the legs, and of course, are rotted out, whatever's left inside there. And it's pretty sturdy. Can't move it. And it makes a handy work table. Of course, when it rains, I have to go into the shed. Speaking of the shed, this is the second part of the video. I want to update everybody on the vents. Alright. Got to get some light on in here. Way down the end, way down, I added a vent. I did all this off video. Also added a little 2-inch vent here. That's all the room I have. This is the middle shed, what I call the middle shed, where I keep the snowblower and the generator. Alright, I'll show you outside. Alright, you've seen the back of the shed before. Now you remember that vent over there, that's the original one that I put in back in 1997. Okay, this I added today, off camera. And I put some of that pheno seal in there to seal it, just to keep the water from coming in. I just simply took my saber saw, put a metal cutting blade in there, and cut the OSB crap board and the metal that's on the inside, because this is a metal shed. This part is also a metal shed. There's three sheds. This is the main shed, metal shed underneath, OSB crapboard over the top of it, 2x4s, and nailing to the 2x4s. And then a few years later, I had the second part of the shed, one of these ready-made, things you put together, sheet metal things. It cost me more to do it that way than if I built the whole damn thing out of wood. But I thought I was, I didn't really need a big shed at the time. Well, things change. Then, of course, naturally I added the new one. So here we got an exhaust vent up on the main shed. Then we got the one I just put in today. And then, of course, we got the vent up here. So on the middle shed, this should be sufficient because this door is not airtight. You close it, you're going to get air coming through anyways. But I wanted that big, just like the old one in the old shed, because when I get an exhaust fan, I'll probably put one up in that corner over there, way down the end. And then on the main shed, I added 2 more vents. But here's one of them here. And then the other one on the other side of the beam over here. So now, with this fan pulling out, we should get some air circulation. But, to tell you the honest truth, I doubt these vents are going to do any good. And I'm going to tell you why. That futon bench, you've seen the video on that. If you want to look back, it's 3, 4 years, 5 years old. Eventually you'll find it. From a futon to a bench or something like that. My neighbor threw out an old futon and I made a bench out of it. It's on one of my videos. But anyways, no matter how much I spray bleach on this, and I use the outdoor bleach, this is what I deal with. Damn musty. Mildew. Mildew on it, see it? I don't think the vents are going to do a damn bit of good, to tell you the truth, but I'll put them in. And about the only thing they'll probably do is keep the shed a little cooler from the heat buildup on a hot day. But we're only about 50 feet from the brook. And a fairly shaded area, so we're going to have this problem anyways. But once again, this is a common problem that I've always had here. We get that mildew here. I get it on the side of the building sometimes, and I have to repaint it. I'm spraying with the bleach, and I'll show you the bleach that I use. This is outdoor bleach. I just keep it out here, and I mix it. Oh, sometimes I mix it 50-50, but you're really not supposed to be that strong. I usually use one of these spray bottles here, and about quarter full, and the rest water. And I just spray around, That's what I have to do. You go and spray this. This is like a losing battle. It's a losing battle. I built this thing quite a few years ago, and I've tried everything. I've tried oil-based paint on this. I've tried, lately it's been latex. Don't matter what I put on it. No matter what I put on it. The damn mildew just keeps coming back. We don't have the company anymore that we used to have. Hardly ever use that bench. Okay. I just wanted to give you all an update. Anyways, for the last 3 hours I've been pretty busy with working on this, on the vents and so forth. I want to thank you all for watching. And the old faded goat says thank you for watching. Have a good day.